everyone! Kumusta? Tuloy kayo? This is Lilo's Filipina Mom, and today I want to share with you the experiment I've been working on for the past 2 months, trying to propagate this Phalaenopsis from cuttings. Since I saw this beautiful white pal, I love it so much that I want to have more of it. Then I saw this video on YouTube about someone propagating 100 plants from one cutting. You guys probably saw that too. I know it's far-fetched, but I still want to try to see it for myself. So this is my beautiful ice princess. Look at the flowers, the lip. It's flatter and not as lifted as the store-bought Phalaenopsis, where it's kind of 3D-like. It's raised and the lip sticks out more. And the colors, the yellow part in the middle, it's also white with the ice princess. It's so unique, and that is why I love it so much, and I want to have more of it.
October 17.
So first, I cut the flower spike into sections, making sure there was one node on each of the piece. Then I gently remove the little sheet covering the node to expose it. Ninalatan ko lang siya dahan-dahan para hindi siya masaktan. A few nodes were flat and barely had any bract or sheet covering it, which usually mean they are inactive, so I didn't use those. You can also use a tweezer if you prefer, but if you have long nails, just like I did, just use your nails. You have more control. After removing all the sheets, I just applied a bit of this crazy cakey paste on each of the nodes. I got this from Amazon. This is not sponsored, by the way. I wish it is so. Basically, it's just a plant hormone to encourage growth. I'm using a Q-tips to apply the paste on each of the nodes, really gently, making sure not to damage them para hindi po sila masaktan at tumubo sila ng maayos. After that, I'm just placing it in a jar with some distilled water at the bottom to help with the humidity. So let's just repeat the process on each of them. After that, I placed it in a Ziploc bag and then placed it inside my greenhouse for more humidity and light. October 21st. After about 3 days, I checked on my cuttings and I noticed that the nodes were a little bit bumped up. I got so excited. I was like, hala, tumutubo na siya. Ang saya-saya. So I was very hopeful at this point that this could actually work. Pretty much on all of the cuttings, the nodes are all bumped up, and honestly at this point they are all looking really promising. I placed it back in the Ziploc bag and then in the greenhouse and waited what happens next. October 31st. Now, by October 31st, I could really see a difference. The nodes were visibly longer, a lot more pronounced, and they turned out nice, healthy green. They were really standing out and looking a lot more like they were ready to grow. That was so exciting for me and my experiment. I decided to put the cuttings in a tin bucket. First, I put a sphagnum moss into the bucket to keep the environment humid. Then I place the cuttings standing up so that the nodes aren't directly touching the moss to prevent it from rotting. Hopefully, the idea was that the cuttings would help move moisture into the nodes and encourage them to grow. Finally, I added the kelp solution because kelp is known for providing natural nutrients and a little extra boost to help the nodes grow strong. Hopefully, that's my thought process in at this point. So we'll see. After that, I lightly sprayed the inside of the large glass jar with a bit of distilled water to keep the humidity up. Then I placed the tin bucket with the cutting inside the jar and put the whole setup back into my greenhouse. Then I observe. Observe lang tayo muna. Princess Lilo went to observe as well. November 12. So now it's November 12, and I've noticed that some of the cuttings are starting to turn yellow and a bit mushy at the ends. They're rotting a little. So sad. The good news is the nodes themselves still green and seem to be getting longer, which is a positive sign. I'm still hopeful. I want to be hopeful at this point, but I'm definitely worried seeing the cuttings rot. But hopefully the nodes will push through and grow roots soon. We'll see. Back in the greenhouse she goes, and we'll remain hopeful at this point. That's all we can do. December 2. So it's December 2, and as you can see, unfortunately, all the cuttings have turned dark and a bit mushy and dried out at the same time. Basically, they didn't make it, and the experiment didn't go as I hoped. I am definitely feeling a little disappointed, but I'm also reminding myself that sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's okay too. So, looking back at this experiment, I don't think it was a failure. The node did activate, and a keiki started to grow, which tells me the method worked. The problem was that the flower spike didn't have enough energy left, and without roots, everything depended on what was left in the spike. And eventually, it dried out and started to rot before the keiki could survive on its own and make roots. So, in the end, all the cuttings died, but I still consider this experiment a success because it taught me something important about time and also energy and patience with orchids. And to be honest, with life in general, I think we all go through that sometimes. um, so, I think that's it for today, guys. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can like and subscribe. I appreciate your support so much, and thank you for watching and sharing this quiet orchid moment with me. This is Lilo's Filipina mom, and I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Paalam!